What's going on, everybody? It's in the Slime We Trust news. Your number one source for the sauce. How's everybody doing today? We got some breaking news. Let me fix this light. It's a little bright. Some breaking news coming out. Let me make sure I'm on. Alright, it says we're live. Let's get it. As you guys can see, I'm getting right to it in this video. I'm gonna give y'all about 5 more seconds for all the slimes to get in attendance, all the supporters, viewers to get in here. Shout out, salute everybody, happy holidays. What's going on? Together we break chains. How's it going? What's up to MJ also? So breaking news coming right out of the D4VD case. It happened yesterday. They announced the private investigator, Steve Fischer, who's working for the house. We went to his, that's where he announced it on. We went to his Twitter. And he announced last night, I was busy doing some shopping, which I gotta continue after this video. So, it ain't gonna be too long. So we're gonna get right into it. But yesterday he announced that, you know how he came out and said that he raided the house and there was some things that shouldn't have been there that probably would have been on a farm and not in your local house. Well, he came out yesterday and he revealed one of those items because he got to see the house right after the police raided it. So just items were still there. It's just mind-blowing. But one of the items he came out and revealed, which a lot of people had, thoughts in their head about this one when he said in the beginning that it belongs in a freaking... What's going on, streamer? What's going on, Perfect? When he says it belongs in a farm. So we all thought about like a burner or something. And so it was an incinerator, aka burn cage. Steve Fischer has just came out on Twitter, aka X, and announced that was one of the items that he was talking about when he went on Nancy Grace and Law Network and said he, went and viewed the house for the homeowner, because that's who hired him. The homeowner who rented the house out to David D4VD. So that's who he's working for. He's done more than the LAPD, if you ask me. Shit. Wow, did they? So like I said, I was going to cover this last night, but I was out, shopping for the nieces and cousins. But we going to read this, guys. So y'all all know Steve Fischer. He's well known now after this case. He's everywhere. But one of his first reports, he had came out and he couldn't reveal too much. He didn't want to reveal too much. But he said that there was some items there that belonged in a farm, not in his house, and he don't know why the police didn't take it. Everybody wanted what he was talking about. He also dropped a few more gems, like the person who did it, they left on tour after they moved the car up the street. So we all knew he knew who did it. He seen the person that last took the car up the street, and then he said they went on tour after. Hey, what's going on, Jay?
How you doing?
So now he comes out last night and he says one of the items he was talking about was a burn cage. Now we're going to get into this burn cage, and the description on this thing is insane. So the details I've heard is David ordered this thing online. I'm going to Google it right now for y'all. He ordered this thing online. Let's get the official one right here. And not only did he order it online, guys, he used a fake name or a name that doesn't belong to him or anybody I know around him. Tell me that ain't fishy itself. Some people can say, some people, you know, throw out there, maybe it's props. Maybe it was for props or for one of his videos of music scene or something. But then you could say, all right, why does it work? A prop is not supposed to work. You know what I mean? You have a prop gun, it's not supposed to be able to take people out and shoot. You know what I'm saying? Also, why is it using a fake name? So these things are actually legal to have in your house. You are illegally able to own one of these, I guess, for stuff like that, I guess, new video shoots and all that, and I guess shit you do on a farm, I don't know. But this thing goes to 16,000 degrees, and we're gonna read this. Guess what it takes to incinerate a body or cremate a body? 14,000 degrees. Insane. I knew something wasn't right about this guy, D4VD. I'll go check. I made a video on him 2 months ago. And I said, this boy is not working with a full deck. And I can just tell by the evidence that's already out. The car's insured to him. They say maybe he parked her so close to his house because when he was coming back from tour, he probably was going to use this thing. So park her near the house, then when you're ready, go, you know what I mean? Bring her there. I also had a thought that maybe this thing was still in the box because he got it sent to him when he was on tour or right before he went to tour. So he didn't have time to take it apart, put it together. This is just a guess that I had. I haven't seen anybody say. So since he didn't have time to take it apart, put it together, you know what I mean? He's like, all right, I'll do it when I get back from the tour. Let me get half the process ready. You know what he did. And boom, bang, he gets caught by the tow truck in the middle of it. Who knows? Maybe somebody was supposed to do that job while he was on tour and they, you know, bitched out or something. Who knows? But this was found in his house, and all I'm going to say is, another thing I was thinking, guys, this is why he put his house in his mom's name. When the first day the cops raided his house, because he knows what the cops seen there. This shit and everything else that we ain't seen because the cops took it. This is what he left behind. Not to mention, y'all remember he sent movers there? This guy literally sent movers there like freaking a slick dude. Didn't go himself. I mentioned this in my last video. We don't know what them guys grabbed. They could have grabbed the freaking, you know, I don't want to say too much on YouTube, but the weapon. If there was one used. They could have grabbed anything. Then once they left, here comes the police. Then here comes Steve Fischer, and then he finds all this. But let's read what he posted. So he posted this. So I'm assuming this is the exact box. Look at the name. Dr. Burn Cage, guys. We could probably Google this right online. Dr. Burn Cage and order one. That's some sick stuff right there. Although my words have been misquoted by some, what I actually said about certain items found at the Dohoney address was that they were items you would expect to find on a farm rather than in a house in the Hollywood Hills. Now that's what I was saying earlier. That's what his quote was. One of those items was a burn cage, incinerator, advertised to burn at 1,600 degrees. Human cremations are typically performed at approximately 1,400 degrees. An incinerator is not legal to use within city limits. Oh, it's not. And serves no legitimate purpose at a residential property in the Hollywood Hills. Some will argue that this item was intended as a prop for a video. If that was the case, it raises several obvious questions. Why would a 55-pound burn cage be delivered to a private residence instead of directly to a prop designer or production house? Like I said, this dude Steve Fischer, he done did more than the LAPD. Am I lying? This dude was hired by the house, mind you, to see what the hell's going on. So what he said, why would it be ordered before departing on an extended world tour? See, maybe he got caught up. And why was it never used in any video production? Good point. It is also important to note that there were additional items present that could be used in conjunction with the burn case. So he's not even saying everything that he found there and everything that was there, because I guess that's not really his business to put out to the public what, his findings and his investigation was. It's to the homeowner that hired him and paying him. You know what I'm saying? And he's still doing more than the LAPD allegedly. But anyways, he's saying it is also important to note that there were additional items present with the burn cage. To be very clear, this burn cage was not used. It was still new and in the box. However, given that Celeste Rivas Hernandez remains was ultimately found in the Tesla trunk, the presence of any incinerator at the same residence associated with that vehicle necessarily raises questions about intent. This guy's smart. The burn cage was not taken during the search warrant, and a lot of people thought he was lying at first just to get his name out there and blown up and stuff. What did it say? The burn cage. Hold on. The burn cage was not taken during the search warrant. This is what I was telling y'all. And because it was not used, that's probably why. It appears it is not importance to any possible criminal investigation. So because the box wasn't opened yet or anything, they didn't take it during the raid. But they probably did take pictures of it. So when they go to court, they can, probably show the pictures. He says, it is not importance to any possible criminal investigation, but we think it's important context, even if not criminal, for sure. The burn cage and other related items were delivered to the residents under a false name. It was delivered under a false name, chat. Although the deliveries were accepted at the property, attached is a photograph of the actual burn cage incinerator as found at the residence, along with an image from Dr. Burns' advertising materials for the product. Wow. That is insane. That is insane. And then you got videos where this guy actually saying he enjoys gore and he loves gore. And he's been into gore since 10 years old. Because it's gonna take a freaking strong stomach to take that smell. And what do you guys think the other items are? Probably allegedly a saw, things of that nature, which also, connect the dots. We all see what was going on. This is sick, y'all. And not to mention, somebody brought it up to me and I didn't even notice this till the other day. In the rehab video that he made 2 years ago, that they made him take the video down because he got it's an anime and cartoon, and the girl's arm is coming off in the cartoon. I'm going to show you guys. Of course, not the thing. I didn't know what this person was talking about. This is it right here. Then I see it and I'm like, oh shit, look, this was 2 years ago, guys. So that's how old this incident could be, or maybe he fantasized on it. Let me see. And he's walking with her. Oh shit! Look at the caption, cause it's obvious. This guy's leaving Blue's Clues. You see this, Shy Turtle? Let me take that back a little bit. So look, and look what comes off out of everything. Come on, chat. This guy's been leaving clues his whole rap career, or fantasizing of this stuff for some reason. Like he said, and I'm going to show y'all the video, he loves gore for whatever reason, and he's loved it since a kid. So I guess they made him not make this song or something just because of this. But why this is relevant, because he just posted his album cover called Marcescence. Check this out, chat. Marcescence, and then we're gonna check out what it means. Now I'm on my computer so I can zoom in and stuff, y'all. Watch this real quick. I want to show y'all this. It's about to get nasty. Now I can zoom in. So look, this is David right here up front. Everybody, let me get y'all attention. We're gonna point this out right here. This is David in the front. This is Itami right here, the guy we just seen him fighting in the video with the blindfold, who he says is his alter evil ego. When he comes around, people get unalived. And David, I guess, solves the case, he said. Behind him, I'm not sure who that is yet. I think that's the other suspect that helped him with the crime. But this is when it gets real. Zoom in on the girl. The girl with pigtails. Who got pigtails, chat? Allegedly, does Celeste not wear pigtails in some of her pics? Look at these 2 strings on her head. Now look at the arm, guys. Tell me that arm is not allegedly cut like in the video we just seen. Or I'm gonna quit streaming right now. Tell me that arm ain't cut, or I'm gonna quit streaming right now. Is that not a clue left behind, or what? Second video already. Well, it's the album cover. And you know what this album's called? Marcescence. When you hold on to something that's dead. On top of all this, he named this album cover Marcescence. When you hold on to something that's dead. But her arm's cut right here. I'll zoom in even more so y'all know that ain't your eyes playing tricks on you or nothing. That's not your eyes playing tricks on you. Look, you can see the water. Well, let's zoom right in. You can see the water through her shirt. It's literally cut right there. He put that detail in there. It also says 10 on her shirt. I don't know what 10 means. Her age, I don't know. 10. Anybody know what 10 stands for? There's also a skirt on her, which tells me women. She's throwing up the peace for some reason. I don't know. I seen some say maybe rest in peace. But on one of those fingers, guess what it says? It is a tattoo, something scribbled. Remember, Celeste had like David allegedly on her finger too. So let me zoom in on the finger. I couldn't do this on my phone. Watch, now we're going to zoom in all the way on the finger as close as we can. Tell me it's not tattooed, chat. Come on, this is too much of a coincidence. This is too much of a coincidence. Look at that finger, chat. Yes, creepy. Now, what's going on, my boy Pac-Man? Long time no see, buddy. Pac-Man, they found an incinerator in his house. A burn cage. So look, this girl on his cover, he put the details. Look at this finger. That's a normal finger. What's wrong with this finger? It looks like it's been tattooed and then maybe something happened to it on top of it, right? It looks bruised. It looks, who knows? But then she's throwing up peace, like maybe rest in peace, peace out. You know what I'm saying? This could be the other suspect. I believe this is Itami. Now, I also came up with, I think Itami's here because he's only around, like, you know, D4VD said allegedly, when he commits crimes, when he does something evil. So something happened allegedly, and his alter ego, D4VD, well, his alter ego, Itami, is showing right now. And then that's him with his hands in his pocket. What's that mean when you put your hands in your pocket? Like you're innocent, like you didn't do anything. You got your hands in your pocket. When somebody looks at you and you got your hands in your pocket, you're not going to expect nothing of them. They got their hands up. You know what I'm saying? So this whole cover art is symbolism. Alright, so Marcescence is this album's name. We're going to get right into that together. This is what it stands for. Tell me this isn't another coincidence then together. So that album cover, he named Marcescence. After all that subliminal messages and stuff we just seen, this is what it means. Refers to the deluxe edition, David's album Withered, which announced for September 25, released but was delayed due to ongoing police investigation into a dismembered teenage body into a Tesla. Wow, they just added that. But Marcescence relates to bionical phenomenon of dead leaves clinging to a tree. So it's like when you hold on to something that's passed away already. When a tree holds on to dead leaves. That's what it means. And then we're wondering why he held on to dead body for so long. Yeah, he says he loves gore. He's either not working with a full deck, or I'm going to say, like I said earlier, this is the picture of it right here. It's still in the box. Together we break chains. I believe he didn't have enough time. Remember, he had to drive allegedly to St. Barbara, they think. It took more than one person because the strength needed, I can't say too much on YouTube, allegedly, for different parts. So it took more than one person. He had to drive out to St. Barbara. Then he had a world tour. So did his world tour come up when this came? Because this might have took a little while in the mail. Who knows? It's still in the box. It's not open. So he didn't even get to use it for a video shoot. He didn't get to use it for nothing. And people say if it was for a video shoot, it don't get sent to your home address. Especially not something like this. You're going to send it to the production. Then he put it in a fake name. I think he was planning on together. This is my thought. If I'm going to put common sense in what I've collected all the data from what everybody's saying and everything that happened. He didn't have enough time to do it. Probably came in a little bit too late. He had to go on the world tour, which is a lot of money. Couldn't turn down. And when he got back from the tour, he was going to do it. So he parked his car near the house because that's near this thing. So that's why they parked the car so close near the house. That's why it was allegedly ready in the front, whatever y'all want to call it, the front trunk. But it was already allegedly ready in the bag. You know what I mean? Can't say too much on here, but y'all know. So once he got back from his tour, he probably didn't have to do much. But it's still a stupid idea. Like, why would you risk leaving something in the parking lot? You know what I mean? And registered and insured to your name, a Tesla that's going to stand out. Anything can happen, and you got a body in the front. Like, that's insane. Another thought is he would have somebody that was supposed to allegedly do it for him while he was on tour. So listen, I'm on tour, do this for me, I'm going to pay you some of this money I'm going to make. Put this thing together, go up the street, grab this, put that in there, and then I'm going to pay you off. Maybe the guy got cold feet. I ain't putting this shit together when he seen the thing there or something. But let me read the first headline to what the private investigator, Steve Fischer, said. Now, he told us this since day one, Together We Break Chains, that there was stuff in the house that should have been on a farm, quote. And yesterday he just revealed what one of that stuff was. It was a burn cage incinerator. That was just one of the items that was there. There's still more. Because a lot of people thought he was doing it for clout, or... Although my words have been misquoted by some, what I actually said about certain items found at the address was that they were items you would expect to find on a farm rather than a home in the Hollywood Hills. And I agree. One of those items was a burn cage incinerator. Watch this. Advertised to burn at 1,600 degrees. Human cremations are typically performed at approximately 1,400 degrees. An incinerator is not legal to use within city limits and serves no legitimate purpose as a residential property in the Hollywood Hills. Some will argue that this was an item intended as a prop for a video. If that was the case, it raises several obvious questions. Why would a 55-pound burn cage be delivered to a private designer or production house instead directly to the private residence house? Why would it be ordered before departing on an extended world tour? And why was it never used in any video production? It is important to note that there was additional items present that could be used in conjunction with the burn cage. Now I wonder what items that is. Maybe a saw, chainsaw, allegedly. Crazy shit, right? To be very clear, this burn cage was not used. It was still new in the box. However, given that Celeste Rivas Hernandez remains were ultimately found in the Tesla frunk, the presence of an incinerator at the same residence associated with that vehicle necessarily raised questions about an intent. I agree with Steve Fischer. Then he posted this. Woo! This shit's crazy, bro. This guy, not only did he sick enough to date this child, but then you did that on top of it, allegedly. Then try to dispose of the body. Oh my. Then freaking document the whole thing in your music. And then them album covers, like, I can't be tripping, bro. You, like, her arms off. And we just seen it in the anime video. Let me see him talking about Itami real quick.
Insanity, and has he been setting it up for that the entire time with this alter ego that he calls Itami?
Tommy's like not in me, but like in me, like, you feel me, like, you know, when you get like possessed.
You know that David started a tour on July 30th of 2025, and that is when he started his show, which is the beginning of this tour that was called Wither. At these shows, David was
Wither.
making fans pay respects to Itami, which is his alter ego when he's blindfolded. The dates of Itami are 2023,
in the rehab
which
video.
lines up perfectly when he first met Celeste in person.
That's insane. Look at the dates. February 2023. I actually think one of the days that she might have been gone is January to Valentine's Day. But this probably all means something, just like everything else he does in his video. And what's crazy, this the same guy that was chasing him, Itami, in the rehab video with the anime from 2 years ago. And it's probably longer than that. And probably because, like I said, a crime was being committed. Then what happens? That girl's arm gets chopped off.
The first time that they were seen on stream together was in
On
2023.
internet.
It's guesstimated that that's when they first met in person. And as we all know, her body was found the day after her 15th birthday, which was September 8th of 2025. The car that she was found in had been parked in the same spot for 3 to 4 weeks. And then on top of that, with the heat in LA and the decomp, now this is not verified, but a guesstimation would be another couple weeks that she was gone with, you know, how things are looking with the body. So that would put us around July 28th to like August 5th, and guess what? Not only does that timeline perfectly match up with their alleged relationship 2023 to August 2025, but it's also public record that David had some time off, 2 days in California, in Del Mar. That was on August 2nd to August 5th, and Del Mar is only 2 hours away from the Hollywood Hills where that car was found.
So he could have been moving the body there, allegedly.
This first video.
And that was what, March 2nd? So then that means she would be gone already. But
He was blindfolded.
listen, this is what I wanted to show y'all.
Agent of chaos and kind of my alter ego. And the story of the manga went like I was a detective, and there was an evil version of myself that would kind of come out at random moments, kind of like Fight Club with Tyler Durden. And he would commit the crimes that I would have to solve as a detective. So like when I was as a detective, I'd be like solving murders that I'm committing myself. He was
He does.
And he's basically an agent of chaos and kind of my alter ego. And the story of the manga went like I was a detective, and there was an evil version of myself that would kind of come out at random moments, kind of like
Random moments. Tyler Durden.
And he would commit the crimes that I would have to solve as a detective.
See, he would commit the crimes I would have to solve. So I came up with the idea that when he's around, like in the cover art, he's allegedly committing crimes, and David's in the front with his hands in his pocket like he didn't do nothing, solving that crime by dropping us the gems. Y'all get it? So Itami's there committing the crime, David's there solving the crime by dropping the gems on the album cover for all of us. Because he's already solved the crime. He knows. Now we know. I think he's it. I think he's sick
So
like that, bro. Look at the hands.
As a detective, I'd be like solving murders that I'm committing myself. He was
Solving murders I'm committing myself, he said.
blindfolded, and he's basically an agent of chaos and kind of my old
Agent of chaos. Another thing I couldn't get though, guys, is that his arm is cut off too though on the cover art. Like I said, Celeste's arm is cut off. Let me blow this up. His arm's cut off too. Check this out. Itami. There's Itami right there in the front. So his hand is cut off too for some reason. I don't know why. We all know why freaking Celeste's shoulder's cut off. To like she's got a nub or you know what I'm saying? But Itami, if you look, he's got no hand for some reason. Then the person behind him, he's got everything in his hand, so then David got his in his pocket. There's something to think about. I want to show y'all one more video. Anything y'all want me to check out or anything? Look, he's explaining. Bro,
it's not too soon to talk to your doctor about
why? Let's not forget he also made Romantic Homicide, where he's actually allegedly unaliving a woman and putting her in the trunk as a music video. Way before this happened. Like, this is insane. I'm trying to find where he talks about right here, boys. What the fuck is this?
Yeah, that I didn't know about him. Apparently, this nigga is obsessed with murder, gore, and then over gore. Like he's addicted to stage for his show.
Where's the David? The heck? He's got a reason why his girls look the same. Let me see. I never seen this.
And I had the idea to kind of make this first music video introduce a character that I had been kind of ideating for a really long time. That's why you see him with the blindfold and the bloody shirt aesthetic and the bow tie. I'm really big into anime.
He thought this whole shit out.
Manga, and I wanted to make my own manga series at one point, and I was writing a lot of poems and writing a lot of things for it. And a big part of that manga.
Look at his nails, black. Like, you could tell he's demonic.
Which means pain in Japanese. And he wears his blindfold, and he's basically an agent of chaos and kind of my alter ego. And the story of the manga went like I was a detective, and there was an evil version of myself that would kind of come out at random moments, kind of like Fight Club with Tyler Durden. And he would commit
exactly. Then there's some stuff I haven't even covered yet. People are saying he might be in this gang called 764. This crazy satanic cult gang, but that's like another story for another video because that goes deep. Where they actually run on like Discord servers and on the streets in real life. But it's a lot to get into, and it lines up with his name too. D4VD. You can line it all up. I always got out of his name like maybe death. It spells kind of D-E with the 4 looks like an A kind of.
Have to solve as a detective. So like when I was as a detective, I'd be like solving murders that I'm committing myself. And it was like a cool little story. I didn't think anything would come up. It like it was in the vault for like months and months and months, and I introduced it for the first time on screen because I had the opportunity with music to kind of explore this idea further with the Romantic Homicide music video, and people were asking so many questions. I was like, yo, this is kind of fire because like nobody would have ever heard of it if it wasn't for this music video. But Itami was the staple of this music video. You kind of see him throughout the entire thing.